we still have 2 presenters and also 1 field trip. Today, we will have a speaker who may be sharing you some information or experience of building a new company, new business, or innovation. Next week, we will have the field trip to TSMC. Based on my understanding, they don't check your COVID health condition anymore. So it should be a quite relaxed trip to TSMC. And a week later, we have a presenter from a robotics company called Highway. So we still have 3 weeks. I hope this course is not bothering you too much, but it should be a pretty easy and nice course. Write a report. Okay. If you didn't go to any trip, then you can skip the report, because there's no way you can report it, and there's no way I can judge you based on something you didn't attend. For the one who didn't go to a trip, your score ranking, the distribution of your score will be slightly different. I will distribute the score. Okay, so don't worry. Okay? Are you guys okay? Are you guys ready for today's lecture? Okay. So today I invite a speaker. His name is Tobias, and he's a friend of my friend. Okay, so when I was a professor in Zhongyuan Christian University, my friend Jolie, she worked with me, and we are working on technology transfer for the school and encouraging students to build his own business. Basically, innovation and trying to push something you work on in the school to the real world. Okay, so Tobias also is working on similar field, and I hope he can share some of his experience with you guys. So can we all welcome Mr. Tobias?
So thank you for Dr. Lim. And my name is Tobias, and this is my first time to use English to introduce myself. So today's topic is about building your own career and startup ecosystem when you are in school. Okay, so you study in Taiwan and you pay money for school. So sometimes you think maybe you can get some funding from the school and also get a from the government. So right now I'm an organizer for some events, and I have a company in Taiwan, and my work is to help the Taiwanese startups to build their company and also extend their market to South Asia, for example, in Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Okay, so it's my job. So this is the Chinese version. Okay. So when I graduated from the school, actually my major is linguistics. Is to linguistics is to construct the language, especially in Mandarin. And my first job when I graduated from the school, my first job is the education R&D consulting. Do you know this job? This job, what do you know about education R&D consulting? So the first time, I think this looks like very professional to introduce this laptop or your product. Actually, is do this one. You know this one? Or like this one. you have to dancing for teacher and dancing for kindergarten student. But actually, I don't know why the educational RD consulting is doing this. I really don't know. So this is my first time recording to introduce myself and introduce the products for kindergarten student and teacher. So, 我是雨滴，我住在海里。So really, I really don't know why I have to do this when I in my first job. So because of this time, I have some experience in my job. So I think I can do a lot of things. So how about it? So in Chinese we call 虾块, 虾米块. So when you do your job or do your stuff, maybe in the future will be the expert. So I like to hold event or organize an event. So when people see my Facebook or see my social media, they think I'm a traveler, outdoor, rich. No, but so you think I'm traveling for fun. Actually, I work for some government project. So if you are expert in your maybe how to write a business project or how to help the startup to go to the international market. For example, some of the students from the international, some of the students are international students. Maybe you can help Taiwanese startup to go to your country. Also, maybe you can get funds from the government. So next month I have traveling to Japan. So it looks like I am traveling, but actually sometimes I have to have meeting with the Taiwanese startups and hold some event. So actually I do a lot of things. So when I actually graduated from the school, I really love traveling. So I think if we can find a job is actually can combine travel and work. So you can find there's a lot of things you can do. So I love traveling, so I can find a lot of things when I'm traveling. So this is my first time to climb Mountain Fuji in Japan. So actually I think the traveling and the fun yourself is good for yourself, and then you can find something that is you can have the interesting in your future. So I start to hold event or organize an event. For example, travel community. I call it 旅游小聚. So I invite some speaker to share their traveling story for anyone, online or offline. Then you can find some people who is interested in your community or your job. Then you can get the support from the government or from some company. So you start to do anything what you like, then you do an action. Maybe you can get a lot of idea or get a salary from any company. So I do a lot of event and get some money from them. So this is the first time I get the support from Hong Kong tourist boat, which is from the Hong Kong government. So I hold an online event this year, and another online event for traveling. So the first thing I have to tell everybody is you have to like these words. I think it's not good word. Selfish. So the Chinese call the 私心. You have a selfish? You will do decide what you like or what you want. I don't know 私心 is selfish or anything worse. Okay. So you can decide what you want, what you like. Then you can organize events. Everyone can organize event. You can organize event to invite some YouTuber or some influencer. Then you build your own branding. So after you have event, maybe like you can recall like this. This is my high school friend. So if you do an event, you need to know you need to keep the photo or video or like this. Okay. So I really do a lot of event, especially to invite some influencer to share their story. Okay, like this one. Do you know this one? This person, Guati. And do a lot of event, a funny event. Especially this one is to share their failure story in Taichung. Okay, and also in Hualien. So what's your career life? You maybe think after you graduate from school, you will work for any company. You will find a boss. You really don't know your boss what he's doing. But right now, I'm the boss right now. So I'm the person who is really don't know what I'm thinking. So I worked for 5 years for incubator manager. Do you know this industry is to help the company to build their business in Taiwan or international market. So I help them to go to South Asia, especially this one is in Vietnam. So international work is very interesting, and also you can find some more opportunity in the future. So this one is to Vietnam, also in Vietnam. So this one to record a video for the Malaysia startup, like this video. So my job is to take the Taiwanese government to find some key person and repair their start business in South Asia.
Hello， 大家好，我是吴杰，欢迎来到前进新南向创业。
This one is
来到印尼的雅加达，
Indonesia.
来自于高雄的企业家 Peggy。其实他在台湾呢，已经有一个自己的产业了，是在做与亲子的。没想到2年前他来到了印尼之后，决定落地生根在这边设厂。原因竟然就只是因为钱老板跟他说了一句 ：“Peggy， 我要去印尼设厂，你要不要一起来？”就这样子，绝家大小带着她的老公以及2个小孩来到了印尼来创业。她是一个女创业家，同时之间也是一个妈妈。我们一起来听听 Peggy 的故事。来到了印尼雅加达，接受我们
So I combine my interesting life traveling and this job, so I can get this salary from the government.
她同时也在远端遥控哦。欢迎 Peggy。
Okay, so next one I hold an event, organize an event called X-Fair Conference. So this event like Fakam Night
Business,
in Mexico.
communications, technology, politics, art. But we're constantly told that failure is wrong, that it's shameful.
I was the organizer in Taichung City.
Well, we do. Fakake is a global movement that helps people break free from the paradigms of
I think you can find some event in Taipei. You can listen the Star Wars failure story and
was
drink
created in
beer.
Mexico in 2012 when 5 friends got drunk on mezcal and someone asked, why does everybody always talk about the Zuckerbergs and the Gates of the world, but no one ever shares their failures? Since then, we've worked to share the failure through initiatives that challenge the status quo and transform failure into radical solutions that help people make better decisions. Fuck Up Nights is a global community in more than 300 cities across 90 countries where speakers share their stories of professional failure at monthly events. We help start conversations about vulnerability, authenticity, and empathy in local and academic communities. Fuck Up Enterprise works with corporations, NGOs, and governments around the world to design experiences that change the culture of work. We're working to build safe environments where leaders embrace failure and encourage vulnerability and honesty in ways that foster innovative organizational culture. Fuck Up Media creates content based on life's B-sides, sharing stories that are usually taboo. We are a group of non-traditional creators
So when you
and radicals
organize an
working
event,
together
you
to
will
build new economic economic and
learn
political structure.
or make more
Members of
influence
is
or
challenging the current system.
connect a lot of startups in your life.
Fuck up the system.
So in COVID-19, I also have an event in Taichung, Taoyuan, Kaohsiung, Jiayi. So we met a lot of people, and also in COVID-19, we hold events, online events. So everything, the video and the designs made by myself. So if you have talent to do anything, you can do what you want. Like me to organize an event. And then you will let more people your brand or what you are doing. And also get a sponsor from some company. So another job is to like a official community attender in Taiwan. You know this one company from Japan, home away from home. We call HAF. So this one is to talk about how to remote work, and you can use their website to order some hotel or hostel in Japan, in Taiwan, in Malaysia. Okay, so this company, they have the introduction.
Remote work doesn't have to mean work from home. It can mean freedom from the same four walls every day.
So some of you
Remote work
maybe
can open you up to endless possibilities.
in the future you can become
That's where we come in.
the remote worker.
HAF, an acronym for Home Away from Home, is a subscription co-living platform. Simply choose a plan that fits your budget and lifestyle, and you'll get access to HAF's worldwide network of accommodation facilities.
So you have to
Find a home
subscribe
away from
their-
home wherever you go.
Their plan.
Signing up to HAF is simple. Fill out some basic information, choose a subscription plan, and start using HAF from that day. HAF offers a huge range of carefully selected accommodation facilities, from
Sometimes I will
guest
use
houses
their
with some connections to their
website to order
to
some
lively city center
hotel
hotels
or
and
hostel.
resorts offering a chance to connect with
Especially
nature
in
and the
Japan.
outdoors. All you have to do is choose the accommodation that suits your lifestyle and needs. We recommend starting out on a HAF traveling 10D plan, which includes 10 nights per month. And don't worry if you don't use every night included in your plan. You can receive HAF coins the following month for
When you
any
see
nights and
their video, maybe you have an
Furthermore,
idea
by saving up and using your HAF coins
to
wisely,
do
you
your
can treat
own
yourself to a
business.
stay at a luxury hotel. So basically, use HAF for everyday living.
So this one is
save
for
up your HAF
traveling.
coins, and then treat yourself to some well-earned R&R. By living and working location independently, you open yourself up to a world of opportunities. HAF is excited to help you on the path to living life your way. Enjoy your life journey.
So they told us before COVID-19 we work at office, but right now after COVID-19 you can work at home, work at co-working space, or work anywhere. Like me, I work anywhere. So when I do this one, I just to live in any hostel or hotel, then I write a comment on my Facebook, then I get the support from them, so I live for free right now. Okay, so another job I do this one, business startup support center in Vietnam to become their staff wheel assembler in Taiwan right now. So I help the company starter to attend their competition in Vietnam. So I also help some companies, incubator and accelerator, they can join their events. So this one I have some suggestion for you guys, and you really can find some funding or some good event in your school. For example, you can go to this one. Do you know business incubation center in your
Can you
school?
speak English?
Oh yes. This one.
Oh, that's already English version?
Yes. This
There's
one.
an English button.
Okay, this is in English. So the Business Incubation Center of Taiwan Tech, maybe you can find some good events. Especially they are willing to more Taiwanese students to cooperation with international students. They will give some money to build your good idea, then to become a good business. Oh, okay. So you don't have to think, oh, you right now to need to start a company. So you can start a good idea, then you get support from your school. Then you can start to think, maybe you can start a business in Taiwan or go to another country. So this one, you can to read more some information. For example, they have some good event, for example, the Global Talent Entrepreneurship Program for international students. Or this one, Catch Startup Entrepreneurship Summer Camp. So you can join their micro accelerator. So it's free for you guys, so you don't have to miss it. And some of them, if you want to learn some good stuff, you can learn from online. Do you know MOOCs, this website? MOOCs in Taiwan. So this one maybe is suitable for Taiwanese students. So you can learn some courses from online. Also, you can learn some food and home economics, business manager, social science. It's also free to use. And the other one, I recommend to find some good information from young students at the Ministry of Education. They also have some events. This one. So recently I found they have some good event for you. This one. The Global Young Platform Open, International Youngs of the Digital Age, explore the future of the meta-universe. So I think they have some event to learn more students to do some good idea. This one. iYoungs, this one, iYoungs Hub. They don't have the English version. So this one, Chinese student, maybe you can translation to your international friends to join this boot camp. The Young 非全球行动计划. Oh, this one is also good. They don't have an English website. So they will give you a little bit money to do some SDGs and combine with a business. You can use their money to go to the international market to find some demand. This one is support from the government. So when I come here, I also want to tell you about the personal branding to build your social media communities. Because I share a lot of experience for my work, so I really want to give you some opinions to build your community. when you are at school, I mean, you need to build your community for maybe to learn more people about you or your company. So you can invite your friend, people who may be generally interested in your idea or community, to tell people follow your social media, maybe your Facebook or your Instagram, then organize events. So maybe you like traveling, you can organize a travel event, or you like the scientists, you can maybe scientist event to make it easier to more people to get to know you and your community. And you can also invite some speaker, like some famous influencers or YouTubers to start an event. So for example, if you start event, you can find some good website. For example, I don't know, do you know about AccuPass, this one? You can find some good events in Taiwan, or you can find in Taipei, Taichung, and Kaohsiung. Or some events for Christmas, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Some good events in Taiwan. Or this one for learning. And some is for art, for experience. And also you can find in Taichung, because I live in Taichung. Okay. And some website I would also recommend to build your own landing page. For example, you can use this one called the Chinese name called 传送门. You can build this like this one, your own landing page, to let more people about you, or you can give them some information. Okay, so the other one I will show you some information, because right now you are a student, maybe in the future you will start your business. Sometimes you can get the information from your school, or like I said in this one, Beyond. This one. This one. But also you can find some information from this one, 新创圆梦网, for Chinese students. And also this one, IEIT. Because in Taiwan, some of government projects, they are willing to more foreigners to build their startup in Taiwan. So they have two places for international company. One is called Start Paris. In Linkou. This one. So this is for we call the International Startup Center. And the other one in Tainan. We call Taiwan Startup in Kaohsiung. So those are international startup center in Taipei and Kaohsiung. So starters.
美食不尽兴，立刻改用亚洲式，挥别牙龈问题。IKEA 绝版品出清，限时全面4折起。
So this one is English version for sub-terrace. So some of company will apply some government project. They will get support from the government.
So Startup Terrace is this great innovation hub. Other than the office space, the very shiny elevators, everything's brand new. The spaces are amazing.
And you can also find some good incubator or accelerator in Startup Terrace.
在这个林口新创园会有这样一个比较专业的摄影棚，对于就是我们需要去 launch 新产品的话，会是非常方便。
林口新创园可以有更多的沟通环境。那另外呢，我觉得最有价值的就是可以跟其他的新创公司一起交流。
So in sub-terrace you can find
I think the residence program here is also
good
awesome for other
startup ecosystem to extend your market to international market. So right now is sub-terrace and they have a new terrace in Kaohsiung. We call it Taiwan Startup.
林口新创园是首批抢先使用5G 的一个试验场地啊，让我们的所有的研发的部分真的是得到非常大的助力。资源的借鉴是青创团队就需要，青创团本身也提供很多国外的资源的协助，包括参加欧美的一些展会，那它也会有一些补助可以让你申请，对新创团队来讲是很大的帮助。
在产品真的要去做上市的时候，是中间我们还需要有临床的医师，他们那边帮我们去做一些验证，究竟有这样的一个大型的这个医院可以做合作，可以大幅的缩短我们的人力跟金钱的成本，所以这也是我想要进入在新创的一个最大的原因。
So the other one is called the Taiwan Startup. So Taiwan is a little bit different.
The technology setting sail lays the foundation of a smart city, the accumulation of innovation and information integrated with diverse kinds of digital technology has been inspiring the city development. Taiwan Startup Terrace harbors the dreams of all entrepreneurs to create an experiment sandbox for the 5G era, introducing global resources, connecting competitive local industries, and to explore the new markets together. Taiwan Startup Terrace, where the southern Taiwan connects to the world.
So this one is in Kaohsiung. So some of them will have some support for the international company. So maybe you can find some news. Maybe they have some resource for international company. You can get a support from them. And I also find you can find some good events in Yawan Terrace, or it also called the Stop Terrace in Yawan. Okay. So if you are in different, if you're live in different country, you also can find some local support from the government. For example, if you live in Kaohsiung, they also have some support for students, or you can hold your event. They don't have an English version. So if you live in Taipei, I recommend you just go to the business incubation center. They will give you some ideas. For example, recently they have some events to let more people to start your business. They will support you money to really open a company, and then you close the company in the school. Okay. So they also have this one. For the international students, they have a international incubation. Okay. So if you want to start your business, they also can help to apply the startup visa for someone who wants to sell their company in Taiwan. Okay. So maybe you can just send some your ideas to them. Maybe they will reply you back. So do you have any question about this one? For in your life, maybe you can go to international market to find some good things. For example, you can hold an event in Taiwan and also hold an event in international markets. For example, next month I will go to Japan to hold an event in Kyoto to invite some local Taiwanese people who work in Kyoto, and maybe they start business in Kyoto. We want to build to the local community to find some interesting stuff. For example, maybe we can start a new community. We can get a response from the Taiwanese government and also the local government. So we can do something interesting things in Japan. And also, I have planned to do next year. I'm going to Ho Chi Minh City because I am the assembler in BSSC. This one is the government incubator. They also really want to invite more international startups to participate in their local event called Start Wheels. This one. They invite some startups who is interested to extend their market to South Asia. Maybe you can try to read or get a research about this competition. Their competition name is called Start Wheel, and then they hold another event called Vienna Startup Day.
Kết quả tốt đẹp luôn bắt đầu bằng thử thách. Thành công rực rỡ phải đi qua bao nỗ lực. Cơ hội trong đời luôn đòi hỏi sự nhẫn nại. Và thất bại là động lực cho những khoảnh khắc thăng hoa. Việt Nam Startup Day năm 2022, sự kiện thương niên lớn nhất của cộng đồng khởi nghiệp toàn quốc. Nền tảng kết nối đến thành tố trong hệ sinh thái khởi nghiệp trong nước và quốc tế. Trình diễn ứng dụng công nghệ tương tác. Trong 50 mô hình khởi nghiệp sáng tạo độc đáo trong và ngoài nước, trưng bày giới thiệu sản phẩm, trình bày gọi vốn, thuyết phục nhà đầu tư.
So every year they will organize an event in Ho Chi Minh City to invite international startups to have a pitch to demo their product or to present their company.
Của bạn, đam mê của bạn, cơ hội của bạn, khoảnh khắc của bạn, 2 ngày, 7 sự kiện, nghìn nhiệt huyết, chiều đam mê, bạn đã sẵn sàng đón lấy những thành công. Thông tin chi tiết.
So this one is their overtime tonight this year. So they will call for application March or May, and then they have a Vienna Startup Day August 3rd. So if you're any interested in Vienna market, you can try to apply this project in Ho Chi Minh City. So they have two trades. This one is for Vienna Startup, so they call it Vienna Trade Activity. And also the international trade activity for international to foreigner company. Okay. So they also have some events. And some mentor or judge in semi-final Vietnam trade and international trade.
Can you share what they can do right now?
Okay. So right now maybe
I mean, not how to attend the competition, how to do something so they can maybe in the future maybe truly open a startup company.
Startup company.
They're just freshmen.
Okay.
So yeah,
So right now I recommend maybe you can start to build your own social media. Like you can open a Facebook page to let more people what you are interested in. For example, you want to sell something online, or you want to tell about something is very important. You can first thing you can build your own social media, and also you can build your own personal website. So you can start to hold a small event in your school or in Taiwan, or you can do it in maybe the school, or you do an event.
can you provide more? Because building a social media or web page is already something you do after you know what you are doing.
Mm.
But I guess they don't know what they plan to do.
Okay.
So can you recommend, for example, take your personal experience. When you decide to do this, what did you do? And maybe that's helpful for them.
So the first thing is you start your, for example, the social media, the personal, your social media Facebook page. You can write something you are interested in, or you recommend some people to join. Or for example, you can find your school's Facebook page. You have one called 台科育成. Oh, but they use Chinese. You can find some interesting information and then you share it on your own page to let more people what you are doing. And then I recommend you maybe you can build an event. For example, I have an event in Puli, in Nantou Puli. So I share some government plans for local business. And
maybe I ask you in a different way.
Okay.
Why did you decide to do this?
Why did I decide to do this? So for example, why I decided to do this because this one like can get the help. Because when they are do their business, maybe they don't know they can get support from the government. For example, they can get the support when they want to train a new employee. They can get support from the government.
So what do you teach them?
I teach them to collect some information from their company. For example, they have to let their employee have insurance. If they have insurance, they can apply this plan to training their employee. So this is government plan. And also, I hold event called this one. This one we call it 失败者小聚. The SPL conference is to share the failure story. So this one is to let more people to have an opportunity to share their story. Then in this situation, they will know different country and also to let more people what they are doing. So because they share their story and also they will share their information about their product or their stuff, and then they can get the connection from the event. And also you can build the events and to know this influencer. For example, the people who are playing this one, I don't know his name is 二胡. They have some information to let more people to know about him. So then they will join events and to know about you. Okay. So like this. So I do some event in Taichung and in Taipei. The purpose is to get to know about the people what they like or what they need. Then you can start your own business to know some opportunity to get support from the company or from the government. Do you have any question to ask?
I don't think they. So how to start? I mean, can you share a lot of events, but maybe some hints would be better.
Okay. So
How did you train those people? Maybe you can show us how you train them.
Okay. How to train them? Sometimes I just hold an event for length. For example, this girl, she's Taiwanese. She do a business in Japan. Goto is in Japan. Goto, the place called Udao. So I hold an event for her. So he will organize what she's doing in Japan and share her story, her business online. So I train them to organize their interesting and then they can think what they will do. For example, yesterday I just told with her to do this one. This one is to, we want to connect more Taiwanese people to, maybe they can let their product to show in Goto, in Japan. So we ask some company who really interested to do this one. For example, we invite some local Goto's people. They can to create some like with the sniper. This one. We ask the creator to design these shoes or slippers, and then we can sell it to Japan. So I think the first thing, if you want to do something, you can do an event. For example, like the girl I show you guys, they share their story. Because they share their story, they will know what they need and what they want to connect with Taiwan Startup.
针对岛民的话，就是不是住客的话，我们就是先生是想说让大家交流，所以呢也是收费3个小时100块日币，这是一个着收的一个概念。那1楼楼下就是电脑店，所以你可以如果接电脑或者是电脑用的问题。
So just do an event. I think it's quite easy for them to do. So this one is for people they can start the business online. Or use e-commerce platform to start a business. So the question is how to start it. I think this good thing is to organize the event. If you become a speaker or you become the organizer, you will know what you will do in the future. So, like me, I start to build a new brand called Vocation Lab to invite more friends or people who are interested in traveling. They can start to share their traveling story and let more people to travel to that country, and also go to their hometown. They can maybe to have a connection to start a business. Like a video I show you, the girl in Kyoto in Japan. Or you can build your creator bio page. Okay. So, any question?
Okay, maybe I share some information about opening a company. I do have a company, so maybe I share my story. You can comment.
Okay.
So, several years ago, there's a governmental project which encouraged professors and students to go to the market to open a startup company. So I tried that. So professors, they usually don't want to do business. Otherwise, they won't become professors, right? I don't want to do business, so I become professor. But there's a project from the government. They encourage us to try it. I took the government's money, so the goal is to start up a young and very small company. So because I applied for the project and got approved, so I have to open this company. And it's a really technology-based company. At the time, I had 2 PhD students. We were working on image processing. So basically, if you have a picture and if you have a purpose, if you need something based on that picture, we can use computer code to study what's inside the picture and then deliver what the user wants. And at the time, we were doing inspection, like for like quality checking. Okay? And we tried this on cell phones. We suppose this system is going to be used for cell phone manufacturers. For example, iPhone manufacturer or some other phones manufacturer, and they usually have an inspection system when they produce a cell phone. That cell phone comes underneath a camera and take a picture. So that system is supposed to identify whether the cell phone has good quality or not. So it's a quality inspection machine. It requires software inside. And my students and I were writing computer codes for that kind of machine. And before we decided to build up this company, we were only publishing papers. We never think about, okay, this could become a business. And later on, once the project is approved, there are people coming to us and train us how to start a company. So I would say the idea is you must have something that could be sell to a person, and the person is willing to pay you. Either it's a product or a kind of service, a kind of knowledge, or even entertainment. If you have something like that, maybe you don't have anything like that right now, but in the following years, in your college life, maybe you find something from a course, from a project, or some crazy idea coming from a group of people, and you feel like, okay, this sounds like a business idea. That thing, maybe you can see it, maybe it's not. Service is something you cannot see. But that thing could be provided to a person and the person is willing to pay you. Then you can start a business. Right? So if someone is willing to pay you for whatever you are providing them, how come you need to open a company? If you open a company, you basically make it official. So you are not making money under the table. So if you make money, you are supposed to pay tax. If you have an official company, you need to give receipts to the person who paid you. And whenever you give receipts, then there's tax in there. And you should report to the government, hey, I just make money from this person because of the business this company promised. And the government will evaluate whatever you're doing. You cannot be a machinery company, but you are providing doctoral service. So when you register for a company, that company has to be for specific kind of business. And then you can only do business in such. Okay. So for us, in order to truly do some business, we apply to the government. And the process, it's a long process. There's a lot of paperwork. We need to provide several documents that really gives you a headache. So what's happening is you can hire someone to file that kind of application. And we found that company that they usually, it's like a accounting company. They can do the accounting service. So you don't need to hire one assistant to do accounting. So if you hire someone, for example, if I hire a full-time staff for accounting, I need to pay him or her around 25 or 30,000 per month. So if my business is so small, I cannot even make this money. Why do I hire a person to do it? I can just pay some company to do that kind of service for us. So what we did was we pay only $2,000 per month for accounting service. What they do is they will buy a book of receipts, the empty receipts, mailed to us. Whenever we complete a service, someone pay us and we write a receipt and give it back to them. The transaction is completed. So that every 2 months I need to mail that receipt back to the accounting company. What they do is they will collect everything, all the paperwork, and then work on our yearly accounting sheet for the government, because we need to report to the government. They do it for us. And that's only $2,000 per month. Very low price, because our business is so small. We don't really need a full-time employee. Okay, so we also ask the company to file all the necessary paperwork to the government. So we never need to deal with the paperwork in the government. And the other thing what you need to open a company is you need a bank account. And there are 2 stamps that are very important. One stamp is for the business owner. The other stamp is the official stamp for the company. So we usually call the bigger stamp and the smaller stamp. The big one usually is the company stamp. The small one is the company owner's stamp. So forever in the future, for all the documents that representing the company requires those two stamps. Those two stamps are like the signature for a person, like yourself. When you go to somewhere, you apply for something, they ask for your signature. As a company, those two stamps are the signature. Okay, so you need those two stamps, and the stamps are important for opening a bank. You need a bank account. And also you need a phone number. The government requires you to have a phone number. So you need to have a phone. And the phone needs to be ringing. You cannot just have a phone and stop the phone service. Otherwise, if one day the government is looking for you, they make a phone call, they realize the phone is dead. They can just turn down, they can stop your business, right? So you need a working phone number. And also you need an address. So to have an address is tricky because you cannot use for example, you live somewhere, if you have an apartment building or in the future, maybe you have to buy a house or you rent someplace. For living places, that cannot be an address for business because in the tax structure, you need to pay tax, and you can only have locations that is registered for business. That address could be used for your company's business. So so what did I do? What happened to me is my family, my father and a lot of relatives, they own a company. So I basically asked them to provide an address. So on the paperwork, I rent a small portion of for example, it's like I rent a small room inside this address as the company's office, and I need to truly pay the address some monthly rental fee. And even the place that I rent, I pay the rent, it comes from my family. I still need to truly pay them. So we can do some math. Every month I need to pay $2,000 accounting. I need to pay the phone bill, probably $300. And the rental, I remember, is like $3,000. What else? And also, the company owner needs to have health insurance through this company. So the owner's health insurance needs to be connected to this company. There's all kinds of tax purpose reasons. So I need to pay the insurance fee for the business owner. Actually, it's my father-in-law. I cannot be a business owner because I'm an employee in the school. Professors cannot be the owner of a company. So there was $2,000, $3,000. So minimum cost is around $10,000 per month. If you have $10,000 a month, you can have a company. So for a year, it's like $120,000. It's a very, very low cost already. No company truly have this little amount of cost. Usually it's much greater. Okay? But if you own a company like mine, there's no physical address. There's truly a phone. It rings, but when it rings, it transfers to my cell phone, so I can pick up anywhere if my cell phone still has battery. And whenever whoever called and asked for the business owner, actually it's me picking. It's not the owner. It's not my father-in-law picking. I'm the truly representative, I have to say, okay, I can talk for him. So if you have such kind of small business, that's the minimum cost, around 120,000 Taiwanese dollars per year. 120. It's very small, trust me. Usually, you need to spend millions of dollars if you own a business. Okay. So what can you do? Like for us, we write computer software. So we have some small projects. Our customer basically bring what they need to us. Okay, hey, I have a. They are also small companies, and they don't have enough money to hire a research person to write computer codes. They just have products, and they want cheap solutions. So we are cheap solutions. So they came to us and say, okay, I have a product like this and that. I need a computer code, and please write the computer code in this way. So later on, they can integrate into their product, and they give us the specification, and also what's the required functions, and they gave us a limited amount of time, and we write a contract. In a small company like this, you need to still think about contracts. If you want to do a business, write a contract. Otherwise, if one day you deliver something to someone, they don't pay you, who's gonna become the judge? Or if one day you decide, okay, I took your money, but I'm not going to give you the product, then that's stealing money, right? They use a contract to sue you if you didn't follow the contract. So you need to have someone to know how to have a contract. So the contract specifies the time, what to do, who's gonna do what, and how much they will pay us, what's gonna be delivered to them. So it's a complete business. They did pay us some very small money, but that was it. And I would say, as a student, can students have business? Yes, they can. Very rarely, very difficult, but I do see some students have their own business. Taiwan Tech students. So there's one Taiwanese student. He's still in Taiwan Tech. He's now studying for master program. When he was an undergraduate student, I remember in the freshman or sophomore year, he came to me and asked me, hey, can I do a project? So I would like to know, okay, what kind of project you're working on. So it turns out he told me his story. He was, I think he came from a family where his parents were willing to spend some money on him. So he went to some, how do you call that? It's like a cram school. But it's the cram school for small robots. Have you ever seen like a small robots that has a head, like a human-shaped small robots, and they do competitions, like sumo, like a Japanese sumo, pushi, yeah. So yeah, there are competitions like that. So in Taiwan elementary school or high school, there are events like that. But in order to own a company, a robot, small robot like that, you need some money. So usually the parents pay for it. I believe that when he was quite young, his parents must have spent some money on him and allowed him to learn something. So he became a long-term student inside that small robot cram school. And he was so good in programming those robots and assembling those robots. He became the tutor inside that cram school. And one day he became the lecturer. Even when he is not yet college student, he's still in high school. He's already lecturing, teaching elementary students how to build those, how to program. So one day he came to me and said, "Hey, I would like to do some project with this robot." And that was the time I started to learn about his story. And I realized the owner of the crane school was trying to use him as a young superstar. Because, for the true business owner are like old people and older people like me with huge stomach and doesn't look good in front of the newspaper or YouTube. The young kids like the student can truly attract more people to join this society, get more kids, get more students, get more tuition for that crane school. So I told him, hey, you became you are kind of like their employee. Did they pay you? Actually, he didn't think about this at the time. So I feel like they were using him to make money, but didn't share enough to the person, to the student. So I told him, maybe you need to start thinking about business and start up. Because you are the person who truly know how to do something and truly create value, create profit. And then I think he went to our school's startup program and truly apply some projects. And I believe our school also realized how talented he was, and a lot of help from our staff, and also some professional trainers like our speaker today join his preparation for startup, and he participated in some competitions, just like what our speaker showed you guys. So that was the start. And then I think he won a pretty good competition and got his first $1 million award. It was a big news several years ago. So he now owns a company, and I guess the company started with that $1 million award. So something to make you, to make you start. Some award to encourage you to do some business. Okay, so that was what I know. And during the training, there are several kinds of training that we need to do in order to have a business. Something called pitch. What is a pitch? Pitch is like you need to talk to someone who has a lot of money and to encourage him to invest in you. So whoever you're talking to are having big money in their pocket, but they need to be convinced by you. And usually they have several kinds of ways of pitching. There are like 2-minute pitching, 10-minute pitching, or even 30-minute pitching. Even there are short ones, like 1-minute pitching. So what is a 1-minute pitching? How can I tell someone about my business for only 1 minute and someone is willing to invest? So that 1-minute pitching was inspired by a real scenario where someone is truly trying to get money from buildings to buildings. So they are like a truly business money pumping, searching kind of people. They usually go to a building and then try to talk to the key person inside the pumping provider and see if they can get some money. So usually, I I mean not usually, sometimes you can meet the key person inside the elevator. So the 1 minute pitch was inspired by the short talk inside the elevator. Can you talk into a person, introduce your business, and convince him to give you money in a ride on the elevator? And usually it's 1 minute. That's why there's a kind of training called 1 minute pitch. And then the pitch usually starts with what kind of problem you're solving, what's your methodology, why you, why not others, why you, what's your plan, how much money you need, how much money you can make, something like that. In 1 minute, what can you say? But there are truly stories about successful 1 minute pitch. They truly, someone really successfully gets funding within 1 minute inside Element. So when I applied for the project to the government, they hire someone to train us how to present in that way, how to make your story inspiring and touching people's hearts. So he or she is willing to give me something like that. So this is a completely kind of training compared to your coursework. No course in our school will teach you how to become a business owner. Okay, so I think the reason why I asked Tobias to be here today is to give you something different other than any other talks in the school. And from here you can see he really encouraged you to be seen on internet. Maybe that's one thing. And he also mentioned about events for failures. He organized events for failures. Because whoever failed can join together and talk about how we failed. So maybe in the future you won't fail like me. Or when you fail, you know what to do next. And usually in your life, it's very rarely to see a person who only had one job. Even myself, this is my second job. When I graduate from college, before I go to USA for master program, there's 1 year of waiting. I went to a machinery factory to become a CAD engineer, making CAD drawings every day. I worked so hard, my joints didn't even have inclination. Because I was doing this pose for the whole day, I never moved. So some inclination here to indicate how hard I worked. So I was a very hard-working CAD engineer. Okay, so that was my first job. But I didn't. So in fact, this is my third job because this is my second job. But my third job was the startup company, right? Even though I'm not the owner, my father-in-law is the owner. I still have the company. Why don't I just shut it down? Because the company is losing money. If I shut it down, I can never earn back. So my goal is to try to make the company earn some money. One day the company can pay me back. Yeah, so yeah, that's me. Okay, and you could be facing different things. I know no matter what Tobias or I tell you, none of them would be the right choice or decision for you. You need to make your own decision.
And I also have some information for you. This one is from TCA. If you are not, you think you are not a good startup or start your business, or you don't have any idea to start business, you can join this program. This program is to invite student who is international student or Chinese student, or you can get the support from them. So they have some, they want to do the international student training and the internship, and you also get the money from the company. So you will have to apply these, become the international trainees. So if you are a student, you can apply it. So you can search the name TCA, or you can search in Facebook Digi+ Talent. So every year they have this program for students. So they also can invite the international to apply this. Then they will start to call for application. Then they will interview. They have an interview. Then they will start a program. They will send you to the company. They will give you $5,000 for months. If you are study in PhD, maybe more than $8,000 for months. These are for months. Okay. Or your graduate trainees. Okay. So you have to start to learn what they are doing. Maybe you can think, or you are to start your new idea, a small idea, and start your own business. Okay, so TCA, this one they will say is public-private partnership that facilitate the circulation of talent between Taiwan and like-minded partners. So this one is to then more Taiwanese students, maybe they can have the opportunity to connect with the international student. Because some Taiwanese students like me are a little bit shy to collaborate with international students. They can start this one, or this program is very good. And then they start in summer, and I think it's in summer. So maybe next year, March, they will start this program, and you can apply it. So for their program, they have a video.
Xin chào.
Привет. Namaskar.
Halo, Tuan.
Ni hao. Salut. Sawadee.
Всем привет.
Apa kabar?
Hola.
Hola.
We are the TCA program, like we are international students in the TCA, and the TCA program is organized in partnership with the DigiPlus. So by being together, the DigiPlus and the TCA, we have this good for cultural exchanges and learning new things.
It is not just an internship program. It offers training, and you can build a network with other students, and we have a broad variety of institutions you can choose.
And I was really interested in it because the type of companies that join the PCA program as training institutions were really impressive.
What I know this program is my friend's company applied this program to hire some international student and Taiwanese student to work for them. So they have them to do something very interesting project. For example, they invite the student to record video to
I
solve
used to learn a lot
the
of theoretical things. And
problem
to
from
international
the law,
environment.
international law.
But this program, like in 3 months, I could learn the program of probably 2 year unbetter students.
This program is good. We can not only make friends, but I have a chance, an opportunity to actually look into the community, look into the research culture, or look into the integral industry, how they are working in Taiwan.
I think everything that TCA has given us, like the information and the courses have been really thought out, and like the instructions are very clear, so it was really easy to get to speed with everything.
I'm a triple I. I was assigned to a team of 3, and 3 of them are so friendly and supportive. When I came to the office, I felt like, oh, this is my environment. It feels so familiar for me.
Well, without TCA, you should know it's like we have never succeeded in finding the internship that I currently have.
I just couldn't believe it because I was looking for internship for like 1 year. Then when I saw this one, I was like, they're thinking about us.
I thought, oh, maybe this is the only opportunity for me to do an internship and in English in Taiwan. I saw many good examples and I think, oh, this is a really good program.
I think TCA is the best first step to kind of get familiar with the workforce and understand how it works here, because obviously it's different in every part of the world, right? So I think, yeah, by joining, I have had the chance to have a better glimpse of what to expect.
Yes, I will recommend my friends.
So the Chinese company will get a support from TCA. They can use their money or their funding to train the international student, to let them to familiar with Chinese company, and also they can have a good idea to do some interesting project.
For as long as the opportunities keep coming.
And I think there is a window that foreigners can be part of the changing opinion, and foreigners can express themselves in different variety of fields. So if you ask me personally, I think I have an ability and I also willing to serve Taiwan.
Great.
Grateful.
Appreciation. Exactly.
Okay, so I would also like to comment on something. With like the video, like the program, or like the training I took, there's always a kind of, we need to be aware of something in business. Do you know something called multi-layer or marketing? In Chinese, probably it's called 直销. In Chinese, then Chinese no, but in English, there's some people call direct selling or direct marketing. Basically, it's a multi-layer structure of doing marketing. So what is it? Basically, in that kind of structure, there's someone who is guiding a second layer of people doing whatever they do inside this kind of business. And the second layer will tell the third layer of people doing the same thing. And they have their own way of training. So if you are a member of this tree or hierarchy, there will be people at the bottom of this hierarchy making money, but there's always a share going upward. So whoever started this earns the most. So there is this kind of multi-layer marketing. Okay. So it's a quite popular kind of marketing, but think about this. If we have a bunch of people sitting together and there are trainers from layers to layers, they're all teaching whoever is down underneath us how to do a business. Who's gonna do business? We're just teaching whatever is underneath us. This tree needs someone to make money so everyone gets paid, right? So if you join some kind of business training, always be very careful about this kind of structure. Because if they teach you, okay, I'm going to tell you how to do a business, then okay, I'm 100% join me, tell me, teach me. Okay, let's have an event next week. There are going to be a bunch of people joining together. I'm gonna train you all how to train others to do business. So one day you become head, and you're going to get a bunch of people and say, hey, I'm gonna train you how to do business. Eventually, someone needs to do business. Otherwise, who's gonna make money? Okay, so don't fall into the traps of this kind of business structure. I remember when I was a student in USA, I took my wife to a shopping mall and studied in the food court all the time. I was a PhD student. I need to study a lot of papers, do some programming. I had no time to stay with my wife for shopping. I can be the driver, but when we arrive, you do your shopping, I do my research. But I do it in the food court. So basically, I'm the geek sitting in the food court. There's McDonald's here, there's Burger King there. I'm sitting here doing my programming with a bunch of papers here. I don't care, I just want to do my job. So I was like that all the time. And then one time there's a person, he's from India, stopped by. I think he watched me doing some serious stuff. So I guess I became his target of this multi-layer marketing. So he came to me, hey, young kid, what are you doing? Would you like to make money? That's what he said. Of course. So what do you want? So he said, I'm gonna teach you how to do business. Like I told you, I'm gonna teach you how to do business. And this way of doing business definitely will give you big money. So at the moment I realized, okay, it's a multi-layer marketing. I'm not going to be fooled by it. But I'm curious about what he's gonna say. So I just replied to him, pretend I'm interested. Okay, I'm very happy to know. Can you tell me what should I do right now? So he said, okay, next week, same time, please come here again, and we will begin our training. So okay, I told my wife, I met some fake person today, and I would like to see what he's gonna say next week. So let's do shopping again next week. So I did it, and I sit at the same place. Truly, that guy came and say, okay, now today we're starting our training. So he brought out a piece of paper and drawing. There are some diagrams or some text about how to do business. So now I'm even more curious. I want to know what's the thing you're going to, cascade to the second layer, and what's the second layer of people gonna do to cascade to the third layer. What's the thing? What's the secret? If that's something truly can make money, I would like to know. Okay? So he said, I'm gonna teach you how to teach another person to do business. That's so fake. So then teach me. But he's not teaching me something. He's teaching me how to teach another person. So after careful thinking, this hierarchy basically will be a bunch of people telling to someone underneath and say, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to do business. You're going to talk to the other person and say, I'm going to teach you how to do business. But there's no one doing business in this street. So yeah, I feel like it's a funny story. But anyway, if you are trying to figure out what you plan to do in the future, if you can truly do the business, do whatever that makes money, that's the best. if you can directly make money with whatever you do, and that translates to money earning, that's the best. Because if you need to indirectly rely on someone else so you can make money, then in this business chain, you're just a small piece. You need to rely on whoever is going to help you, or you need to rely on whoever is helping you. Then that's more complicated. So, more complicated.
I also have some kind of story like the professor said the direct theory is to training people to how to be a YouTuber. So they sell the class online, then they teach you how to be a YouTuber, but the video maybe you can Google it from anywhere. So the goal is they train you become a YouTuber, and then they also tell you how to become selling these courses for another people. You can make money. So this is kind of the similar one.
Sometimes I feel like it's a trap. If you are so good in making YouTube videos, you don't need to teach me. You just become that person and make money. Yeah, right? If there's someone telling you, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to do it, but he's not a teacher. He must be trying to get some money from your pocket. Right? Okay. Anyway, because of time, I guess we cannot have more discussion for today. But before we go, any questions? I know it doesn't help you on choosing which field you're going. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you,
As a company? Oh, that's my story. My company is out of money for a long time. Let me tell you what to do. Usually a company will be owned by several company shareholders. So if the company is not making money, ask for money from them, because they own the share. If they decide not to put more money to invest, that's terminate the company. Yeah, that's business. But if you are your own company owner and you're not making money, maybe you need to think about why. If you have a good plan, but you're just unlucky, it's very possible you're just not lucky, so you don't make money. Then you probably need to make a change. And there's one way to survive is to get a loan from the bank. Yeah, I mean it's very common. Every company has a loan from the bank. So what you need to do is to prepare a business plan. The business plan will convince the bank to borrow you to lend you some money. And it's usually a monthly payback. So you can pay the loan for following 10 years. So then you have some cash in your hand. Then you can use it to quickly build up and then go on money. It's easy. The procedure is easy, but to make money is hard, right? And it's very risky as a business owner. Of course, you need to carry the risk, and you don't want to go to jail one day because of owing money, right? So another easier way is to become the employee. Allow the employer to take the risk. So if you say something, okay, I'll do it, then you pay me salary, right? That's the easiest way to become an employee. But if one day you realize I work so hard and make so much money, but all the money goes to the boss's pocket. I feel like I can own my own business and the money goes to my pocket. Okay, you can go out and start your own business, but you take a risk. And usually you need to start with at least some money to start. Like myself, I start the company with a very low budget way. I don't have an office. I only have one phone that is far away from me. I just link all the phone calls to my cell phone. And I only pay $2,000 for accounting. I still own it because that's the requirement for the project. Otherwise, I just terminate. Maybe you have some other comments.
Because some government project need to have a company
Yes.
to apply it, so then you can get the support from the government. So you need a company. So I also have a loan from the bank. So it's not to be shame to tell everyone. So you have a loan from the bank because I get the support from the bank during the COVID-19. So I can use this money to get to do a lot of things. For example, to do a lot of events during the COVID-19, and also because I do the government plan, I have to spend a lot of money to hire some people to maybe to do some paperwork. So this also get the support from the government and also the bank. Yes.
Or 3F for opening a company. There's 3F. Your family, your friend, and a fool. Those are the 3F where you can get money. From your family, from your friend, and a fool. It's a joke. Whoever investigate you is a fool. So be your own fool. Investigate yourself. Okay? So let's thank the speaker again. Hopefully one day you can own your own business. And please write your report. Remember to do it. Okay. So that's finished. By the way, for the next field trip, make sure